Here we are. We've made it to day number 2 of the launch here. Hello, Mr. Lonny. How are you?
Hello, Mike. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Doing good. We've, I can hear a little bit of recoil that's happening there. And make sure that we're going to share this out to all the groups to make sure that we can make sure we see everybody on the groups. Again,
give me 1 second.
See, here we go. I got it right here. I'm going to share to a couple of the groups here. We're going to boom. We're going to send it out here to the Pressure Washing Friends, Motivation Academy, Community, Entrepreneurs. So we got them all out there. So I also want to make sure that we can see any of the comments that are coming in so that we can say hi to people and go from there. Let's see here. I'm here. Let's see here. Do we got the comment coming in? Comments. We got them all out there. So let's see here. There we go. I think we got it all together. All right. Boy, what a busy day, huh?
I think, you know what, today I think marks the first day in 14 months that you and I have not spoke on the phone until this evening.
You know what? I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about that on the way home today, that you're right, all day long, because usually we at least talk at least a couple of times. And it's very rare that we don't at least catch up or harass each other a little bit. So, you know, today, and I think a lot of it had to do with just on the phone all day. And I'm not trying to hype this up, and I'm not trying to say, oh, we had 400 people that called us today and all these things. What I am excited about is there were, you know, a few contractors that reached out to me and said, wow, we're really excited about what's happening. We're really excited about where this is going. We like the brand. We like what you guys are doing. And, you know, I was speaking, and I'm not going to say names, not because, you know, I feel like it's their own private thing, but I feel, you know, there was at least 2 or 3 people that were saying, I'm working with this sealer, and I just, you know, I want to make a change. So, you know, we're going to baptize them in the lake of Trident and see what happens, right?
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
You know, so
it was a good day. I was glad to see Monday come and go. It felt good to have that behind us. Today was lots of phone calls, guys asking questions. We had numerous guys that have signed up already and registered. So for those that have done that, appreciate that. Filling that out and just registering is going to help you later on when we get ready to place an order. So get registered, tridentprotects.com, and I think that will help once it gets crunch time, having everybody registered, approved, and whatnot. Yeah. But, you know, today, Mike and I really just wanted to go through some basics. Yesterday, we were really excited and really didn't have we had a message, but we really didn't stay to it. And so today we wanted to circle back and talk about some things that we think are going to be important that we maybe went through a little faster than normal yesterday. And one is our contractor guide. And I know you can go online and get this, but this is going to be really critical for you to have something in your hands for your customer. This is going to go through everything about Trident. This could be kept, you know, for you. It could be kept to give out to your customer. But we're going to want to go through some of these things today that are going to make Trident a little bit different than what we had in the past. But the biggest thing is innovative products. You know, Mike had a big voice in bringing a 2-part to the industry, and I think that's one thing that I like about working for Trident slash SEK is if we have an idea, if there's a need, bring it up through the chains and letting tech work at it. Jay Kreck has been vocal on helping bring these product lines to the market. And I think that is going to be key as we move forward. You'll probably see some things added to the line. We're certainly not done. But this first part, innovative to grow your business, I think that's going to be huge. And Mike, if you want to touch base on, the next tagline in there for those that aren't following along, we will have these at all the trade shows also, or you can go to the website and print and click and even share them to your customers if need be.
Well, we've got 2 flyers. So just because there's going to be some confusion that's going to happen there. There's 2 of them. One of them is the contractor. That's the flyer that we put together that we give to the contractors. And then we have the other flyer, which is for the contractors to give to the customers. So this is important because we wanted to not only be able to talk to you about our vision, Lonnie's got them heading up there, but we also wanted to make sure that you had the full story so that when you got down in front of a customer, you felt confident and comfortable with being able to talk to them about what kind of company is going to be there to support you. So I want to talk about that support real quick because I think it's important that when we talk about support, that we're not just talking about tech support, we're talking about field support, we're talking about not only being able to support you when you have a problem, but we also have a network of eyes that we can put on the ground. Now, currently right now, we have Lonny and myself on the Trident team, but we also have Jay Kreck, and which is up in corporate. That is our technical advisor that's there. We also have a couple of other people that can be there. So when you have a problem, 95% of the time, we're going to be able to say, hey, this is where you're going. But if it gets a little bit beyond and we've got to bring in our chemist, I know some of you guys are tired of hearing this concept of we hired a chemist. Look, I've met Dennis. He's very, very good at what he does.
He's a chemist.
He's a chemist. I mean, straight chemist. Dennis knows his stuff. Lonny knows Dennis a whole lot better than I do. But I did have the pleasure of meeting Dennis one time. And I'll tell you, you sit down with Dennis in 10 minutes, he's going to make your head explode. He just knows his stuff. He knows the chemistry. He knows how to put this together. And, we've seen a lot of this over the last couple of years, and we're seeing a lot of talk that's going on where, we see a lot of guys that are coming out and saying, I developed this new product. This is not something that just happened overnight. This is something that was chemically put together and sound. And our owner, Brad, and I've said this in a couple of others, do not put out products that fail. That do not put out products. And if Dennis comes to Brad or comes to us and says, this has got a 94, 95% success rate, that's not enough. Brad doesn't want that. Our owner does not want that. Our owner wants as close to 100% no problems so that we can take out the chemistry. So, when you talk about how big is Sherban, I mean, we've got a sand plant that has robots and just pick up stuff and puts it down and sets all those up. All the sand that you see is not made from somewhere else. We actually refine all that. And Lonny could probably talk about that a little bit, about that process of, our plant and quality assurance that we have about the products, that, 1 week it's not made this way and the next week it's made that way. It's not mixed with 1.7 ounces of this and next week it's 1.73 ounces of that. It's specific.
We don't want to go down the road, but we hired someone that came over across the water and makes me feel good that someone would move his family to the United States and come to work for us. And so as we grew, the plant, the production grew, and like Mike said, a lot of things are done by robot, but it took somebody with the experience that he had to run that facility. And so it makes me feel proud to talk about an owner like Brad, who's willing to go the extra mile, bring in the necessities that he needs, and to have a guy that came over from across the water to work for us is, I think that says a lot. So, that's a little bit of a background about, I guess our team, if you will, from the tech support to marketing to Mike and I, and having Jay available. So you guys should have enough information to take it to the end user, the consumer, the homeowner. And by the other brochure, like Mike said, that's what's going to help sell the project. Mm-hmm. So when you hand this piece of paper to the homeowner, it has all the lingo in it, has all the highlights of what the superior cleaners for the toughest jobs, an outline on that, has an outline on the commercial grade sealers, talking about no job too big, too small. So I think the marketing side is what's going to be huge for you folks to have this literature to be able to present, and for the contractors to have your own contractor guide. And I talked to a gentleman today who said, man, I am super, super excited. I'm adding this as a bolt-on service. And we went through the cleaning process of, taking a 10 by 10 pad, you charge 20, 25, 35 cents a square foot to clean it. And then adding a concrete sealer, if not paver sealer, to that could add profit of just.
I think you're kind of breaking up a little bit there, Lonny.
Clicked.
I think we're getting Lonny kind of broken up there a little bit.
There's a lot of people out there that once you get one underneath your building. Go ahead, Mike. My reception's.
Yeah, I think you're breaking up just a little bit. That's there. We'll let it kind of catch up a little bit. We'll kind of see when we go into here, but I think you were kind of speaking a little bit more about these contractors are calling to add on a bolt-on service. And I talked to two contractors today that called me up specifically for that type of situation. I've been pressure washing for a period of time. I'm gonna let Lonny kind of reset up here a little bit. I've been pressure washing, and what we find is, and I talk about this in one of my classes, is that typically around that 2 to 3 year mark, the guy that has been pressure washing for about 2 to 3 years, all of a sudden is getting more and more requests. At the beginning, they got a few requests for paver sealing and concrete sealing and all those kinds of things. But after that first one, someone comes up and Miss Smith says, hey, I realize you did a really good job of cleaning my driveway, but let me ask you, can you seal our pavers too? Can you seal our concrete? And at the beginning, I understand that, it's kind of scary because majority of guys say, no, I don't do that. And what happens is around year 2 to year 3, they start to see and getting more and more repeat customers. And it never fails that I get a phone call or someone calls up and calls Lonny, calls myself, says, hey, I've been pressure washing for about 2 to 3 years. And after year 2 to 3, I'm starting to get more and more requests for paver sealing or concrete sealing. And the comments go like this. Mike, I'm getting more and more questions. I feel like I should add paver sealing. I feel like I should add concrete. And it never fails. This is the term that comes out. I feel like I'm leaving money on the table. And that's the point where someone says, I'm ready to start building my confidence in the ceiling. And that's when we're starting to reach out. So did you get yourself all kind of tightened up there a little bit there?
I hope so. I don't think my wife paid the Wi-Fi bill, so it made me run a little behind.
When you're on dial-up, I mean, it's difficult out there, you know.
Hey, I live out in the country. We get hee-haw reruns once a week. No.
So finish what you were saying there, Lonnie. I want to hear more about what you were saying.
I lost train of thought there for a second. So, I'm not quite sure where we left off at. Where did you lose me at?
I think I lost you on bolt-on services. You had a customer that contacted you about adding on some bolt-on services.
Yep. Perfect. So we talked about cleaning, what that would be per square foot on cleaning and adding sealer to it. And it didn't mean paver sealing. It was concrete sealing that could be utilized either way that they wanted to go. So it basically showed them that they were leaving money on the table by having a relationship with the customer. Those that have relationships with a customer, that's the easiest sale. And I've always said this, that most of the guys that we talk to, when they get a sealing job, it's not that they went to market. It's because their homeowner asked them, you're cleaning the house, the roof, can you do my pavers? And it goes, yes. And then they pick up the phone and they call us and go, oh my God, I got this job. I don't know what to do. Help me. What did you bid it at? I gave my price. I don't even know. So a lot of them they're going in it on a shotgun approach because the homeowner asked them to do it. So if you're getting those requests, get into a class, get into some training, and add that to your service. Are you going to sell everybody? No. But as you bolt those on, it can be good money. And with your current database, take some stuff off the web off of our site, send me an email, send Mike an email. We'll get you what you need. If there's something specific that will help you target a market or a specific customer, we'll help you in making sure we dial that in with you, because there's 1,000 ways that someone would want to have this bolt-on service, whether it be residential, commercial, whether it be around a pool, a driveway. I talked to another contractor today that they're going to start adding that hydrophobic sealer for colder areas where they're putting a lot of calcium and salt deposits down. And so it just being able to arm yourself with a couple different sealers versus one. There's not one sealer out there that will do it all. If there was, we wouldn't have 15 of them. So sometimes the chemistry don't work by adding a joint stabilizer with a penetrating sealer, hydrophobic, and these layers do not work. And that's where Dennis comes into play. He will say that can't be done. But we'll have more and more stuff that we have some ideas and have some things in the queue that will, I think, catapult us even further as we go down the road. So that's what was exciting about talking to guys with bolt-on service and adding it. That's a feel good is helping people out. So,
and I think it's also
that was what I was getting at.
Yeah, and I think it's also important too to know that there are certain things in our trainings that we talk about. For instance, we talk about our sealer triangle that talks about, what are the questions that you need to ask a customer prior to choosing the correct sealer and the correct product for the job. What we don't want to do, and Lonnie talked on this, and I think it's important, is we don't want to pigeonhole you into one type of sealer. Too many people call us up, said, what is the universal sealer that I can use for absolutely everything? Well, the problem is what you like is not always what your customers like. So we want to train you and educate you so that you have the knowledge and the expertise to be able to walk into any situation, ask the customer 3 questions. One of them you'll determine. Do you need to stabilize the joints? Do you need to harden the sand? Because if it's concrete, you really don't need to. If it's already been, say, for instance, tipped in with concrete before, or it's, already has polymeric sand into it, you don't have to harden and joint stabilize at that point. But sometimes, a majority of the times, you are going to need that. So the question is how are you going to obtain that? Is it going to be through the sand? Is it going to be through the sealer, or a combination of both? Are you looking for a high sheen, a low sheen, a medium sheen? Are you looking for enhancement? Are you looking for no enhancement? Are you looking for a natural look? So those are the questions that you're going to be able to ask your customers so that you can provide the right outcome for them. I can tell you a lot of the reasons you see people that get callbacks is when a customer gets done and says, oh, I thought it would blank. I thought it was going to do this. So we want to try to help you with our training and our education and our online is to allow you to be able to set clear and concise expectations for your customers so that you can then come back to us or to our product line and deliver a unique and complete expectation that they're looking for. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I could shove more big, long words into it or not, but I tried. But my point being is that we have a full line of products. We have a full line of training that's going to allow you. And you're going to see some really cool stuff that's getting ready to come up with unique training things. And I talked about this yesterday, that you're going to have something with a little bit of, as we would say, some teeth behind it. So when you go to a customer, you're going to be able to say, I am certified and trained in this, and this is what it took for me to become certified, so that it just wasn't just, hey, I went and spent, a half a day, got a bowl of chili and got myself a really cool sheet. There's been some teeth and some education, some certification. Yeah. So also, one of the things that we want to do is starting next week, go through each of the product lines, and I'm going to record some of these so that we can start with one product, start with our what I consider in my market, the flagship product, which is going to be Hurricane Category 5. That's in Florida. That's going to be your 2-part urethane sealer. It's going to have everything that we're primarily looking for in that Category 5 sealer. And why did we call it Category 5? Because Category 5 hurricane is the strongest hurricane that you can get. But we have T3 technology, which is the tone technology. We have superior joint stabilization, and also the sheen that you can adjust by just changing different mix ratios. So we're going to go through each of the products, create a small little video of education on each one of those products, record them, put them up here, and allow you to be able to find out a little bit more about each one of those. So,
I don't want people to overthink sealing. It's
true.
Really not over complicated. But you brought up a point about joint stabilization. For us, when we say joint stabilization, we're meaning more than just the crust. So some brands on the market claim to be joint stabilizers, but they just crust up that top. That's going to be easy for that system that has any movement to get a rain underneath it and pull that sand out. So the risk you run is that potato chip, if you will flake out. And so when we say joint stabilization, we're talking a full depth that is going to penetrate in between that joint. And I don't know if Mike still has that video up, but he tore apart a demo pad that he had done during a training. And you could see how far that stabilizer had worked down into that system. So I just wanted to bring up that point that joint stabilizer is the full depth, not just the 1/4 inch, but actual over 3/4 of an inch of saturation. That's what we consider for joint stabilization.
Well,
So
and we
just want to touch on that real quick.
And we talk about, what are the optimal ways of doing things? And, there's been so much information that's been put out there that talks about 1-day processes. And I'm not going to go into, because that is a full on 1 hour conversation, just talking about the difference between 1 day and 2 day and getting those joints dry and that process to be able to create optimal joint stabilization. And what is the right kind of sand? And those are the types of things that you're going to learn in our trainings. I'm not trying to just do a teasing to get you to come to our trainings. But basically, if I'm going to spend probably 30 minutes on sand, I'm going to spend probably another 30 minutes talking about the difference between 1-day application and 2-day application. Now, at the end of the day, you're going to take a look at that information and have to decide for yourself, what do you want to do? But at Trident, our goal is to give you not only, you should do this in a 1-day, you should do it in a 2-day. We say a 2-day. You should use ASTMC 144 grade sand. These are the reasons, but more importantly, we're going to follow up with the reasons why you should do that, because you have to be able to not only talk about it. So I went on an estimate with one of my clients, and I do that for a lot of people that are local or anything else. You got a big job and you need someone to come out there, and I can make it happen. I'll come out there and talk to the client with you, or talk to them on the phone, one of the two, to answer their questions. And one of the things he was competing against was that the customer had talked to the other contractors, and the other contractors said, we're going to come in, we're going to clean it, we're going to sand it, we're going to seal it, we're going to be gone within a couple of hours or so. And I explained to them the difference between doing a 1-day process and a 2-day process. I didn't say good, bad, or ugly, but I went in and explained the difference between the two. And this customer was able to walk out with a 11,500 square foot job, just simply by allowing the customer to be able to get the information and process it themselves. So we're going to teach you the optimal way of sealing, not just the good way, not the kind of way. We are going to set the bar up. I mean, how many people do you hear saying, I wish we could charge more? I wish we could charge more and get it. And what we want to do is arm you in a way that you can. Now, are you going to close every one of them? No, you're going to have, 69 cents, 79 cent sealers. But I'll tell you, when you're competing against someone that's doing the low bid and they're using sealer, there's only one way of doing it, and that's by taking shortcuts. We do not take shortcuts, nor do we teach shortcuts. We want you to be an elite contractor. We want you to be an elite person. We want you to have the ultimate in confidence. So we're setting the bar high. We're setting it real high.
But when you do that, you eliminate callbacks, right?
You got that right. You got that right.
That's what it's about.
It is.
It's all about callbacks. If we don't set the bar high and we have issues, you have issues, that's the only reason is we don't want you to have callbacks. And if we give you the optimal way and you choose to do otherwise, that's on you. We hope you don't choose that route. And a lot of guys do because they don't know. The old saying, you don't know what you don't know. But just get into a class. There's been a couple here that I know Sean Bull's been in a couple. He's been out on the job site with you. Just to read a couple questions here, going back to registering online. Yes, you will have to set up a new account. Go in and register online at that website. So those that had an account over with SEK SureBond, we would need you to go back over there and fill that application out. Sean Bull again said training is key. Tony Gibson says, will we get a participation trophy? I think you ate that. I think that was the taco that you got.
Yeah, that was the participation trophy. That's the tacos.
That's the taco. But that's really all I see up on the boards right now. Mr. Flip, hello. Talked to him today. He's in the house. So, you know, I'm excited about, you know, some of the trade shows that are going on starting next 2 weeks. I think we got a big one.
Yeah.
And then every month after that. So we'll be seeing a lot of you guys out there on the road. But we're hitting about that 30-minute mark. I don't want to keep going, Mike, but is there anything else that you'd like to cover tonight?
Well, I think it's important that you guys know that this is a new standard that we're setting. This is a division of saying, look, we are going to do everything we can. Lonny and I and the team and all the different people that are involved with Danielle are committed to make sure that you have what you need to be successful. That's just as clear and as concise as I can make it. And we are committed to doing that. We're going to be at the trade shows. We're going to support you in any way that we possibly can. So we want to make sure that if you have questions as far as putting orders in, again, our website is up. It's functional. It's ready to take orders. The process is that you go there. As you can see, you go to tridentprotects.com. You'll go to the register tab that's there, click the register, fill out the form. That form is going to come in. We're going to review every single one. It may take 24 to 48 hours. That's why we want you to do this as soon as possible, so that when you are ready to order, you can do it, go in, it'll give you your shipping, it'll give you your tax, it'll give you everything that you need. You'll be able to order 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're very quick to getting these get it processed, get it turned, and getting it out to you. We want you to have the confidence to be able to put that in and know that you're going to get your product as soon as possible. So, and we hand pack this stuff. I do a lot of packing. Danielle does a lot of it. So I'm going to send a bunch of them up to Lonny just so he can have some fun with it. So yeah, you see him. You see him jumping. You see, yeah. I sent all his stuff up and sent him probably about a half a bag of peanuts. So, so anyway, let's kind of wrap this up. We'll come back in tomorrow night. It'll be the third night of our launch, and after that, we will stop spamming all of your stuff for a little bit. But we do have some more really cool stuff to talk about tomorrow evening. And again, get on that website, tridentprotects.com. Get yourself registered. And let's see, was there anything else in here? I'm 100% in Cat 5. When you use it with C144 sand, I can't see who's saying that. Can you see who says that, Lonny? Are you there? Did I lose you? See, the pavers are prepped correctly. Check it out, everyone. Awesome. Sure did. It was awesome. Well, anyway, looks like Lonny's kind of locked up there a little bit again, but I want to say thank you guys for all your support over the last couple of days. Give us a call, shoot us a message. More importantly, thank you for choosing Trident, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. I think he's trying to come back here again. We'll see if he says goodbye to us. That was Sean. Yep.
Have a good night, guys.
There he is. All right. We'll talk to you soon. All righty. Bye-bye.